This is the Alfa Romeo Tonale. It's the company's first ever small SUV. Another small SUV, you say?
Yes.
But this one is different because this one is an Alfa Romeo. It's Italian. It can talk to girls without getting embarrassed, and it has a soul.
240.
It's already won 8 awards, and the market share for Alfa Romeo in 2021 has gone up by 21%, and a lot of that could be this car. Just to avoid confusion, 1.5 litre petrol in here, front wheel drive, 160 horsepower, and then somewhere around here is a variable geometry turbine, all very clever, and then here is a battery which gets the energy, so the energy is coming from the engine to the battery sending the energy back down to the car, to the engine, all makes it very efficient and gives it, well, it makes it very efficient. Then there's also a plug-in hybrid version of this which has 276 horsepower and 43 miles of electric only range, and that we will call, the fast one. So let's have a closer look inside, because Alfa Romeo say that their interior quality is the big thing at the moment, and it really is noticeable. So is this very clever wireless charging slot, which is simple but also very genius. Then there's this driver's display, which when you switch the car on, you get these menacing lights that come on, and then when you switch the car off, you get the rear of the car as if to say goodbye. Also, you've got this very heavy key. A lot of cars today have not thought about how heavy the key is. When you want to leave the house, you want to, I'm going out in the car, it's a heavy key. And look at this. This is what I call the folds. I mean, there's probably a better term for it, but what I mean is the way that the materials all undulate between each other and their relationship. So it's almost as if, did it make a noise? No, it didn't. It's almost as if you think to yourself, how did they put this together? In some of the cars you think it's just a computer with an iPad, but here there's character, there's thought, there's lots of things to touch and play with. I want to move on to this because have a look at the resolution on this screen, for instance, and then when you turn this dial here to it says DNA, but when you turn these you get a different picture of the car to represent what that function does. When you come to the maps, they're extremely fast. The details are very, very good. The navigation itself is great. Then you've got the CarPlay, you've got the Android Auto, and it comes with Alexa as well. I'm going to give this a very high mark, not to mention this amazing map screen here on the digital binnacle.
One of the shocking things I did discover, and you won't believe this, is that not all Alfa Romeos are red. They actually make them in other colours too, like this blue one that I took for a run and then parked outside my house, which I bought with the money I made doing dances on TikTok.
But what is the Alfa Romeo like to drive? Well, first of all, there is a soul of a sports car thing going on in here. There really is a sense of energy and aliveness. I would go as far as to say this feels vital. You know, like therapists say you should feel vital in your life. They say it's a CBT thing. They say it's a powerful attribute to have. Exuberance, vim, nowness, positivity. It's all here. Moving on to the space in the rear, the BMW X1 has 540 litres. This has 500, which is less, but not really the end of the world. I do like this though. Look, that is a thick piece of material. It's thick carpet in the back here, which is obviously good for sound deadening. The seats go down, and you've got a little push-through device there for whatever you want to do, and there's obviously cup holders too. And you got this, which is, I haven't seen one of these for a long time. Look, this is a fix and go kit. So this is obviously for your tyres. You put that in there, and then you stand and you put the air in, a little repair kit. I'd love to see whether I could do that. Plug it in, pump your tyres up. You won't get bored of this. This is the on-off feature at the back. Watch this. So you unlock the car, you get 1, 2, 3, and the same at the front. You unlock it, and it also is the first car to have NFT technology built in, which provides a tamper-proof system for monitoring the car and its history so that it doesn't end up on a boat somewhere getting nicked. It also has a reverse camera. It has high beam assist, all as standard, along with the Apple and Android we mentioned and the over-the-air updates, which is very useful. And this, on most of them, is the adaptive cruise, which is very good. Although I am going to say, it doesn't have stop and go. So this adaptive cruise is quite a basic one, worth having. What's that? What is NFT?
42 miles to the gallon was my average consumption from the hybrid system. The auto lane correction works very well. I also like the idea of the overhead airbags, knee airbags, automatic emergency braking, side impact airbags, anti-whiplash, emergency call, drowsy driver alert, and you can also put a sunroof on.
You could, in a way, describe this as the MX-5 of SUVs. You know that feeling you get from the MX-5, that kind of up for it positivity? This is a bit like a mate. This is like a friend. Everyone's got an excited friend who says yes to everything. That's what this is. I'm actually going to say this is a little bit sharper to drive than the UX from Lexus. There is some noticeable hybrid characteristics in this car. Steering is exceptionally light. If you like a car that is very easy to drive, this will be one for you. Doing all this with one hand and absolutely no effort whatsoever. Let me just see if I can see the reverse camera for a minute. There it is. That's not too bad, is it? Nice little bit of resolution. That brings me on to the next thing, which is road noise.
Ignore this if you live outside the UK, because we now have the worst roads in the world. It's official. I found the Tonale to have about the same level of noise as you would expect from a T-Roc or a Tiguan, and slightly less than the Ford Puma.
That brings me on to how much they are. Jump on the very famous comparison leasing site, Leasing.com. Here are the prices. $343 a month, $3,000 down. Okay, $351 a month, $3,000 down. Okay, let's now compare that to, for example, BMW X1, which is $423 and about nearly $4,000 down. $434 and again, nearly $4,000 down. Okay. It might be obvious, but I want to mention these wheels because can you think of a wheel that embodies a brand as well as these? This, every time you see it, can you think of a car where immediately if you show an alien, because obviously there are aliens now.
I would not be surprised.
And you showed the alien, you'd say, well, that's an Alfa Romeo wheel. I think that is a really clever thing. I was having a think about what sort of person would drive one of these. And the answer I came up with was someone who doesn't really care about the monthly payment. In that, well, they do care about the monthly payment, but it's not, oh, what car can I get for 300 odd quid a month? And I don't care what colour it is. I think this is the sort of car, if your neighbour gets one, you'd think, yeah, he's thought about that.
You can take the Tonale out of Italy, but you can't take the Italy out of the Tonale. Romantic, fashionable and bold. And like the Stelvio I discovered, it also has good brakes.
Okay, top three, right. Number one, and you are going to hate me for this, so I'm going to apologise in advance. The sound system in this car really surprised me. It's really good sound system, can't emphasise that enough. Number two, I think this design inside the cabin is really interesting. It's a good, it feels comfortable. I like the ride actually, I like the ride. But it's enough modern, but also going, look, this is a car. People want cars, people want to feel like they're driving a car and they want buttons to press. That's number two. Number three, I think the looks. I think the UX, Lexus UX is a beautiful small SUV. Obviously the Audis are good. This is easily as nice as any of those, and I might even go as far as to say I think this looks better on the road than the BMW X1. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.